welcome back everyone to EastEnders Weekly. We are officially the unofficial podcast where we discuss everything EastEnders. And I've got a question for you, Alex.
Yes, go ahead.
What did you do this week to make yourself feel proud?
I had toast and a bowl of Weetabix. I was quite proud of that.
Simple things.
Simple things, simple man,
Choices.
Simple life, simple choices. I mean, nothing as worldly as what EastEnders did this week.
No, or me.
Or what did you do to make yourself proud?
Well, I appeared on live radio, BBC Radio, this week.
You did twice?
Talking, funny enough. Guess what I was talking about?
Let me think. Give me a second. Was it about...
Not Emmerdale.
You did talk about Emmerdale. you wrote it off. It was EastEnders, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. How do you know?
I just guessed since I'm on a podcast with you about it. I'm just the lonely co-host now. I'm the middle management. I'm just here. I turn up, do my 8 hours and leave.
Yeah, I'm on the BBC listings now, love.
Yeah, I know you are.
Watch out.
Anyway, we'll be discussing all about Ben's appearance on BBC Radio in the feature. So look forward to that.
Yes.
But you can also catch his full interview on our YouTube page. Just look for EastEnders Weekly Podcast. If you want to hear a cat's claw scratching down a chalkboard, that's right, I'm going to insult you.
How rude. Right, so we are discussing the episodes that were broadcast between the 1st and the 5th of July. And who are you?
I'm Alex.
Not that anyone cares.
I know no one at the BBC tend to. I'm Alex. I'm Alex, by the way, Mr. BBC.
That's right, and I'm Ben from BBC Radio.
Local star. You should get a photo. You should get a cast card made, a photo card made of yourself.
Oh yeah, I should.
Sat in front of the microphone with your headphones on, like twiddling a couple of the mixer.
And we're finally on BBC Sounds now. Well, I am, so that's good.
Oh yes, technically you are. There you go.
Right, so we're going to start off this week's discussions not with Pride, which was a great story, not with Ben and Callum and Stuart, which was a great story, but we're starting off with the Branning brothers and then a bit of Adam and Habiba mixed in.
Yeah. Are you saying that these weren't good stories in comparison? Perhaps not. Yeah.
Well, they were okay. I mean, what do you want to do? The Brannings first?
Yeah, start with the Brannings. They're still in
limbo.
Limbo, yes.
Rainy limbo.
Yeah, because Rainy's not made an appearance at all. She's kind of stayed away, and Max's plan is...
Max has noticed though, so that's good.
Yes, well, Max noticed last week, but no one else in Walford has noticed. So Max and Jack are basically playing a blinder by telling people that, oh yeah, they've gone on holiday, or she's just having a bath upstairs.
Got a headache.
Yeah, every time something's happened, like, oh, can I see baby? Everyone seems to have a real keen interest in seeing baby Abby this week. I know, no one gives a damn about baby Abby throughout the weeks, and this week everyone wants to see her.
And Jack, he's lost his 75,000. So it's a bit stupid because he's like now panicking, like he's bankrupt and he's going to have to sell all his assets. But if you think about it, this 75,000 was originally going to be put into that schoolhouse.
Yeah, so he would have lost it originally anyway.
So what, he just hasn't got any money put by for any of the flats yet?
Well, he hasn't got anything to maintain them. Because again, as luck should have it for poor old Jack, the one time he's a little low on funds, he's now, all his flats are falling apart around him.
But he's just had both those flats redone, like last month.
Yeah, well, obviously, just don't hire shoddy business workmen.
No, let's get Ronnie's fake brother/uncle guy back. Hot one.
Or they could get the two guys from EastEnders Classic.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, get them in. They'll give you a quote, double it, and then not do the work.
Oh, God, no. Trevor.
Yeah, that's who I'm...
Beloved character of EastEnders history.
1989 was certainly not a vintage year. Let's just go that far.
So, I find that a bit odd how Jack suddenly has no money, so he's like offering to sell all his assets. And Ruby, like the woman who's apparently a millionaire secretly, was like, oh yeah, I'll buy a one little crummy bed sit.
Well, she was interested, wasn't she? She licked her teeth and she was like, yeah, I'll be interested,
I'll think
Jack.
about it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a millionaire, I'll buy this one little bedroom.
Although that's probably cost £1 million. It's in East, up and coming east of London.
No, Jack's missing £75,000. Well, it doesn't really make sense, does it? Really?
No, but 75. I reckon. I don't know what property's worth in London, but maybe a bed sit in London like that would probably be about 50, 75 grand. I reckon.
More than that.
More than that.
Oh yeah, it'd be about 200,000.
What, for a bed sit?
Yes. Especially in Walford.
Walford's very up
Hot
and coming.
property.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's got a gay club now. Did you know that? They just had a pride event. Did you notice? Oh, good.
I was distracted by Kathy.
Her cat is. Anyway, we'll talk about Pride later.
Yeah. Oh, so fun. So much fun. We also had, because Ian wanted to see Baby Abby as well, because him and Max are working together in Walford East.
Yes, Max wants to change the menu of Walford East so that everything has chips.
Not so much East.
Yeah.
East End.
Walford Red for Max and his little baldy head.
Yeah. And he had a go at Ian, sort out the menu.
Yeah, we want more chips. Chips! Give us chips! That's all he wants is chips. I mean, if you want chips with everything, just go to the kebab shop down the road. There's McClunkey's. I'm sure the cafe's probably got chips with most items on their menu too.
I just remembered last week I said it sounded illegal how Max got the business sold to him without Ian knowing.
Yes, but...
We were watching Coronation Street. I'm sorry. It was not good.
Traitor.
We got like 15 minutes in. That was enough. But they've had a similar storyline. And the guy said if you sell your part of the business to someone, the business partner should get first refusal.
Yeah.
So what happened, Ian?
Exactly. Why wasn't Ian given the first refusal? So technically he's found a loophole, so now he could interject the sales with
get Max.
I mean, Max needs something to do, otherwise he's going to be dolling around the house looking miserable, being, oh, where's baby Abby? Oh, my baby Abby back. but not Adam, Ian. Ian really wanted to have baby Abby for the night, didn't he? He was like, oh, can I, bit of a kinder side of Ian. He was like, can I look after baby Abby? So I've got a sneaky feeling that the first one to discover that baby Abby's kidnapping.
The only one that cares.
Will be Ian Bill. Well, you say the only one who cares, but Sonia cares, Robbie cares.
Everyone that was
seems
real
to be really
shoehorned
involved
in this week as well. Robbie's storyline.
Well, it was put in there just
Uncle Max.
Yeah, it was put in there so Max can then relate it to the situation him and Jack are in.
Yeah.
So then
to not tell the police.
Yeah, exactly.
It was shoehorned in though. It was like Sonia asked them if they'd speak to Robbie because he's missing, and like Jack and Max were like, if we have to. Like, oh no.
I know, it's so sad that now Robbie is just like, he comes back with
he's
somewhat
burden.
of a bang, and then he just deflates again around the square, and just, he wasn't even there for like the big cast ensemble pieces this week either, where you kind of just shoehorn members of the cast that you don't tend to see that often.
Homophobic, Robbie?
Oh no, Robbie's not homophobic. I'm surprised
Anyone who wasn't there is homophobic.
Yeah. Anyone who didn't join him
including
with pride.
Sharon.
Yeah, are bigots and don't deserve to live there.
We also, obviously, we had the flat situation, which then led on to the Honey, Habiba, Adam thing, because they were thinking about buying a flat also.
Well, Adam's buying and not Honey.
Yeah, I was wondering that when I was watching her in the Minute Mart and she said, oh, we're buying a flat. I was like, how much are you putting into this, Honey? Because you don't have any money.
Minute Mart paid don't all good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Adam also would see this as a kind of power trip for him, wouldn't he? So it would always be
owning it. Yeah.
This would be his flat. So when eventually this all comes out in the wash, Adam will be like, "Well, you get out, Honey," and then Honey will be, desolate and need to maybe bunk back up with Billy, and they'll be back together.
Habiba's face has been really annoying me this week. She's so like soppy and mopey all the time.
And then she's a bit puppy dog, isn't she? With her eyes kind of, and her
she just looks sad
gals.
at everyone all the time.
Yeah, her lips, her cheeks kind of physically move downward, don't they? Like,
I've liked Iqra though. We've still because we saw that feisty side of her in the pub like a few weeks ago. A few weeks have passed, haven't seen her. Now she's back again.
Yeah.
And it was funny that line. I think Habiba said it to her like, "Oh, I'm going to start being a bit more Iqra."
Yeah.
And it's like on paper that sounds like, "Oh yeah, be more Iqra." But like we haven't seen Iqra.
No, I know.
So like
so
be more
relate.
Iqra doesn't really mean anything to anyone.
Well,
like,
I mean,
what does that mean?
They did elaborate a little bit by saying that being more Iqra is being more honest. I mean, it's because eventually she told the truth,
Yeah, and also being a bit more ballsy, I guess. But like it doesn't really relate because we haven't seen Iqra be Iqra really, apart from one scene.
Yeah, but what is Iqra? What is Iqra? It's like one of those exercises they do in like a group consultation, like when they make you do it at work and you basically draw a bubble in someone's head and it says what is Iqra, and you have to write down the little confident, honest, ballsy,
one night stand,
calls a spade a spade.
Because Adam saw her phone flash up.
Well, yes, because she threatens Adam, says like, if you carry on this business with Habiba,
that's 2 threats she's done to him now.
Yeah, then I'm gonna just basically tell everyone what you've been up to.
My murder theory. She's being too ballsy out there.
But I wouldn't like it if they got rid of Iqra.
No, I know.
Iqra's the one I prefer.
Yeah.
I like Habiba.
I did like Habiba when she was a bit more fun. But she's so mopey and soppy now.
Yeah, I know. They've already drained the character straight away. They've drained the well a little bit too quickly with her.
That's really weird. Like you only ever see them just them on their own, like behind a bar in Walford.
Yeah, they're keeping them well away from everyone. Even when Ian and Max are there, they kind of come in. Ian and Max kind of roll their eyes and say, "Women," and then that's their kind of
walk off. Yeah,
that's their only relation to one another.
It's a shame because they still have hope. I think. Iqra and Habiba.
Well, they should do. They were coming in with the purpose of causing a bang. That was the whole press release. It was like, oh, they're going to be these exciting new Muslim characters, and they're going to be
modern,
and
Yeah, they've just been a bit
of a damn
been a
squib.
bit Iqra, which possibly isn't the...
No, they've been a bit Habiba. They've not been any Iqra.
No.
But Iqra did get a message from someone called
Is it Lee or something like that?
Ash.
Ash.
Now, there's musings on the social medias.
Is there? Well, people have been talking about this, have they?
They have.
God.
And they've been saying that Ash is both a male and a female
For God's
name.
sake.
So is it that she's seeing a woman? Is the reason why she broke up the marriage because she's
might
gay?
Might be Tiff. She's got a fake profile.
Yeah, it's Tiff. I knew it. I knew it was Tiff all along.
What were the emojis on the text? Because that could hint at if it was
Wasn't
a
it
boy or
like
a girl.
fire? Like
I'm not sure.
the fire emoji. If my
Or was it like a puppy dog face? Or
It wasn't, no, because
an
then that would be
Was there an
Habiba.
aubergine?
There
That would give it away.
was no aubergines or squirts.
Oh,
No, I think it was fire. And I think it just said had a great time last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's I think everyone's got rainbows on the mind at the moment.
Wow.
They're like coming out their ears like unicorn horns.
A bit too much.
But well, you say that, but you know, there's room for lots of gay characters. You know, it's not uncommon. Hollyoaks, for instance, why do they have like 7 or 8 gay characters?
Thousands.
That's why we call it Hollygays.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's what it is. And so
Mr. Price is now on there.
Yes, he's dating the wrong guy. Anyone who
I hate his character.
watches Holly.
I don't even know his name, but I hate him.
Mr.
The
Price.
drag queen. No, not Mr. Price.
Oh.
I hate him too.
Oh, I hate it because he's almost like Shakespearean the way he does. I'm going to go over
No.
here.
He's got rid of his sexy like Welsh accent, and
he was
he's
kind
giving
of
some posh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
He wasn't arrogant in EastEnders.
Welcome
Bring
to
back Mr.
Hollyoaks
Price.
Weekly, everyone.
This is the officially unofficial podcast all about Hollyoaks.
Yeah, I hate Mercedes as well, but that's another topic.
Yes, we're going off the topic.
Just because it's Iqra and Habiba, and there's just so little to discuss. Really.
So, but yeah, that's the big talking point on social media. Is Iqra also part of the Rainbow Posse?
No.
There you go. That's
But it's not like a big dirt that Adam has on her, but she looks quite worried that he knew.
Well,
this
because
happened.
she's behind Mariam and Arshad's back. She's dating
What,
another
she has to
man.
tell them every single person they date?
No, she doesn't. But then it's not, I suppose, the practice of their
In their
religion
eyes.
and in their eyes. Yes.
Because they're setting up a guy for Habiba to meet, and she's agreed because Adam found the guy, so she agreed to it.
And she's doing it out of spite toward Adam, which is so she's kind of double bluff. She's bluffed, not double bluff. She's bluffed Adam, and Adam doesn't like it. Adam basically it all boils down to that Adam doesn't like losing the control.
No,
And
he wants it all.
He does. He wants it all. He wants his cake and eat it.
So the second storyline, which was also
Meh.
getting in the way of my Friday episode, I
Yes,
felt when it
yes.
kept popping up all the time. It's like, just go away. Stop cutting away to the Slaters talking about money, because they're missing money from last week. So we now had a week of Kat trying to work out, was it Big Mo? No. Was it Martin? Possibly. Because he said that strange line, like, you don't have money, but I've got something.
Yeah, I've got something hidden away.
Which apparently was Stacey.
What, he's going to sell
That's
Stacey
what
on the
he
black
said.
market.
When Kat confronted him, he was like, I was talking about Stacey. Like, well, what does that
What?
mean?
So he's going to, yeah.
It's like, that's your hidden weapon.
Do you reckon Martin knows how to get into the dark web? And he's like selling off body parts of Stacey bit by bit.
Now, it was obvious that it was Stacey that had the money.
Well, there's only Mo or Stacey who knew about the money.
Mm.
And Martin seemed genuinely surprised when it was mentioned and hurt because he was like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
I could do with money.
And also, 35 years later, we still need the money.
Do you know what? I was
You
going to
need the
ask you at the
money.
top of this whether you needed the money. You beat me to it. Yes.
It's an ongoing problem in Walford.
They should do it. You know, in Mortal Kombat, when you just press a certain mood and go, whoopsie, and that guy came onto the screen.
No.
Okay, obviously you didn't play Mortal Kombat.
I thought you were going to say fatality or something.
No. You do a certain move. This
What, it says whoopsie?
Yeah, a programmer's face comes onto the screen and goes, whoopsie!
Oh.
And he comes off the screen. They should, every time there's like a money story on EastEnders, they should
Punk Mary.
Punk Mary just come on the
Need
screen
the
and go,
money?
need the money! And then just pop back off again. That's what should happen.
Well, she found out where the money was.
Yep, this is the reason why Stacey has been gaining, weight.
Shoving it under her top.
Shoving under her top. It's just not
Bill
that
by
she's,
bill.
not that she's pregnant. No, she's putting money up her top.
Yes, I mean, at least the revelation came out within a week. So that I was happy for that.
It was within a day.
Yeah.
I mean, she lost the money on Thursday. By Friday, it was all out.
Stacey's famous line, it wasn't Martin, it was me.
Hmm.
Famous, like 10 years ago from, it wasn't Bradley, it was me.
Yeah.
I killed Archie.
I was the one who killed Archie. She told old Jackie boy about it.
So I don't know where this really leaves the Slaters now. Like,
Well, more betrayal, isn't it? More backstabbing. Because
is she going to tell Kat where the money is, or is she just going to tell her that she has it but she can't have it?
well, no, she's basically not giving it to Kat because she wants Kat not to, because she worked it out straight away that when Kush started bragging that he knew how to get the money and he had the money to hire a top-notch solicitor, that Stacey, Stacey, who's gay by the way, Stacey put her mind. She is. They outed her on Walford Web this week.
Everyone commented like, "What?"
I know. No one knew. Richie's.
How did they know?
I mean, yeah.
There must have been like one line somewhere like 10 years ago where she said,
I'm off to see my girlfriend. Clap. Bye.
It's got her smoky breath.
It's got her amazing hair. Her like really tight, straight hair.
But
I smell queer.
If I was Kat, I would just be like, okay, Stace, I'm going to go tell Phil you've got his money. That'll scare her into labour.
Yes, but I think that's not the brightest thing, because I don't think Phil would just attack Stacey.
No, I know.
Phil's not that stupid.
I'm just trying to bring some light to this storyline. It's so like, bleh.
Well, it's not that. I mean, it's nice that the way they're kind of trying to give this mutiny, this kind of tension between the Slaters. I don't mind that. It's just that I feel every time I see Jean in the background physically just dying every time she sees them all arguing with one another. I just my pain goes toward Jean, and I just think, you know what, I'd much rather that they just carried on the story about Jean and her cancer rather than us having to string out this story just so that
have to blame Lacey Turner.
But exactly, they're doing it just for the purposes of writing Lacey Turner out, just so she can have a maternity leave, and it's a huge shame. I mean, I wish that they could have done it more related to Jean, because they did it so powerfully, the cancer story, and it was so interesting. And they've just introduced Ade Edmondson's character, whose name escapes me, which is not brilliant, but
it's like David Cook or something. I can't remember. Mr. Cook.
That sounds like Thomas Cook, the travel agent. And so they are going along with it, but it's like they've just interjected with this, who stole the money? It's nice that they've remembered that the money is still there. So that's nice that they've remembered that part, because that...
And they mentioned Hayley's name, which was always fun.
Yeah. So again, a potential... Maybe Hayley will come back for a child at some point. She's
fallen off the face of the earth, hasn't she?
Jerry.
Poor Hayley. I want Hayley back, just for one episode or something.
But they could bring her back just so they can
take Cherry
palm
back.
Off Cherry.
She can come back looking really nice and like sort herself out.
Oh no,
alcohol.
I wanted to like just spiral out of control.
Well, they wouldn't give Cherry back then.
Go back to her mum. No, she tried to run away with Cherry once before. Let her do it again. She could join Rainey, couldn't she?
Start a club.
They could be like the new Thelma and Louise of EastEnders. Cherry and...
That's our second Thelma and Louise reference
in
is
it?
2 weeks. Because we talked about Mel and Lisa last week.
Oh, yeah. Well, they do a foursome. Get them all off the cliff. Let's get them all off the cliff. Dover would never be the same again.
Right, next up is our exclusive... Well, it's not exclusive at all because it's available everywhere, but it's our little look at a radio interview that someone on this podcast did. Not you.
We're back in the press room of the Walford Gazette. As I mentioned at the top of the show, Ben has officially become a bit of a celebrity. Double Z list.
Oh, yes.
He's been...
Multiple phone calls. So.
Multiple phone calls all at once, all from the BBC, baying for your attention. Not mine. They completely ignored me. They just wanted you.
And I did offer you.
You did offer me, and they said no. I was very upset. I think that it was a bit difficult because of the format that they were. This is excuses in my head. It wasn't because I'm rubbish. So this week, as we said at the top of the show, the BBC phoned Ben up. First of all, it was BBC Essex and said, hey Ben, come on the show. We want to chat to you about EastEnders.
EastEnders expert.
Yeah, we need an expert of EastEnders.
And everyone's saying no. No,
exactly. No, you were the first. You were the top of the list. And then straight away, then you got a phone call from BBC Norfolk.
Oh no, he was like, I'd you onto the BBC listings.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call again from another radio station getting me in before that interview.
Yeah, so they quickly got you in quicker.
They poached me.
They did. but yeah, you were, because I was out the house working, and you were on a phone call to BBC Norfolk. I was out half an hour, and you were chatting up some other man on a radio station. It was very upsetting.
That's all right.
So yeah, Ben, was it quite a fun experience talking to the BBC radio stations, talking about your favourite subject, EastEnders?
Well, yeah, it's easy to talk about, isn't it? I do it every week. And I had a lot of opinions because they wanted to talk to me about the headline about the lowest ratings ever.
That's right. So this is what the story was. It was basically because they've reached under 3 million viewers in the UK.
I was there to slap them down.
You were there to explain in a bit more detail why.
I hope it wasn't very fair.
And it wasn't very fair.
No.
I've basically taken out of the 2 interviews 6
they were live as well, everyone, just so everyone knows.
Yes,
live.
They were. Ben was live.
And one of them only had like 5-minute notice.
Well, that's the one I was saying, the one when I was at the house for half an hour.
They phoned me, they're like, oh, you'll be on in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's very stressful.
I came home and you were
my
like,
Skype wasn't working. My microphone, it was just, But it was fine. I did it, so...
Yeah, because you Skyped for BBC Norfolk, but for Essex you had to use the phone.
A cheap telephone.
Yeah, because their Skype wasn't working. Our house phone. So that's why the quality's not quite as clear on the BBC Essex. But it's still very odd. You're clear enough that we can understand your standing of your opinion.
Good.
Did you enjoy talking to the presenters from Norfolk and Essex? They were quite friendly, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. You don't really talk to them very much though. The producer talks to you, and they like click a button. And then you start listening to the radio in your phone. And then the presenter just goes, right, so what do you think about this, Ben Andrews? I was like... So, you don't really speak to the presenters much. Like, they don't say goodbye or anything. And then you go back to the producer afterwards and then they like do a little debrief with you.
Oh, it's...
So that was good.
It's nice. Although it's a bit disappointing the presenters can't talk to you because there's that human interaction, isn't there? You think there'd be.
Too busy.
You're too busy now. As being poached, as you said. So we'll start off, as I say, with the BBC Norfolk introduction. This is where Ben got introduced, and he praised all you listeners out there of the EastEnders podcast, and also how happy he is to be on the show.
What do you make of the news that we're waking up to this morning? EastEnders under 3 million for the first time. Has this soap still got legs?
Hello, Nick, and thanks for having me on the show. Yes, I think soaps will always have legs and a place on our television because you don't really get TV programmes which cover the range of storylines that soaps can cover. Coming from the ratings of the 2.5 million slump, I think it's recently come out that was during a sudden change in the programming, which many fans didn't know about. Even people who listen to our podcast, who are, the top of diehard fans.
So there you are. So you're basically straight away telling him that the reason why the so low rating was the miscommunication from the Beeb to the listener, to the viewers. It's a fair point, isn't it? Because
it's hard to keep up.
It was hard to keep up, but also it was posted on Twitter an hour or two before the episode was meant to be. I mean, it was an unexpected surprise because the Women's World Cup was on, wasn't it?
And also the I think it's Metro, Duncan Lindsay. He posted an article saying the ratings were taken from the last 5 minutes. So, and the show finished at 26 past.
Yeah.
So it's not fair.
It was a bit unfair. You then did a bit of a dig to old Emmerdale.
So the demographics of people watching the show some are gonna download it, some are gonna binge watch it, some are stuck in a routine, and if their soap is on, they'll sit down and watch it. And on the lowest ratings that came up on Tuesday, it clashed with Emmerdale, and I'm sure lots of people thought, oh, I'm not budging my Emmerdale, I'm sticking to watch that.
So you were blaming Emmerdale for the reason EastEnders wasn't getting the ratings?
Well, yeah.
Why not?
Well, if people like to watch their soaps.
Yeah.
And if another soap is on, then that's got the axe, I'm afraid.
I mean, you do mention a lot in the interviews about iPlayer, and a lot of people binge watch it on a Sunday, so they still have the omnibus. Because we do get people get in touch with us saying we don't actually watch all the episodes of EastEnders until Sunday, and they watch them Sunday morning. So viewing habits are different, and you say that a lot on...
Plus the presenters kept comparing it to 1986, and it's there's 1,000 more channels now.
Yeah. And also the storylines are different. I mean, you also had a bit of a sassy moment as well to the presenter. You did on BBC Norfolk, because he was adamant that why should we have to pay extra licence fee money for the soap?
He said that right at the beginning. I remembered it. And I kept it in.
So you
to have a go.
Well, then you did. You slapped him down right at the end of the interview.
The EastEnders set was originally made to only last around 5 to 10 years. So I think we've had our money's worth because we're going 35 years later. So you have to put that into account when you think about the spending as well.
What a bitch. I mean, are you up for nomination for Best Bitch next year, are you?
Well, it's facts.
Fair enough. So we're going to move on to a BBC Essex interview now.
Oh.
The BBC Essex interview is a little bit different to the one for Norfolk because you were in a conversation with a TV critic from the Essex Chronicle, was it?
Yes.
Essex Chronicle.
And they said to me on the phone, they were like, you're both going to be online at the same time, but only one speaks at a time. I was like, okay. And then when she introduced me, she was like, we're both here talking to each other. And I was like, oh, great. So now I have to have a debate, which I wasn't prepared for.
I mean, it wasn't a debate, to be fair. She did kind of talk to one or the other, but
true.
there wasn't a moment when I forget the gentleman's name now, and I am sorry. Yeah, I think you're right, Daryl. He was talking about Stranger Things, and he was trying to get you involved with Stranger Things. Oh, I really love Stranger Things. I love watching that sci-fi program. And you said nothing. Nothing in return.
I'm not there to talk about Stranger Things.
No, you weren't. You were there unpaid to talk about EastEnders. So the first thing you were asked was whether the stories are getting a bit stale on EastEnders, whether they're using the same old characters to come into the soap, and what your thought of that was.
Bringing back old characters, some producers use it as an automatic way to get viewers watching again because it's something familiar, but at the same time they're introducing new storylines and new relevant things that are happening in today's society. Like, you can go back and watch things from the 80s for EastEnders, and you'd get a real insight into what our country and what Britain and what London was like in the 80s. And the same thing could be said watching an episode from 2017, where you have things like consent and the Me Too movement and male mental health. So I think soaps will always be relevant to people because they're trying to do real issues that are happening with us today and now.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could disagree with that. I think that's because that was your whole argument also, that although scripted dramas on Netflix and Amazon Prime and the BBC, these big budget things, okay, they are pulling in a viewership, but like
they're well made, yeah.
And they're all very well made. And EastEnders is very well made, but EastEnders, because it's a bit like, I suppose, like South Park or The Simpsons, because they can make a show very quickly. They can involve stories which are very relevant today. So, as you said about the Me Too movement and also about the male suicide rate and so forth. So, yeah, I don't think anyone could disagree with that. So, you also asked about the humour of EastEnders, for which you had something to say.
Classic EastEnders used to have great comedy, and I think the thing you have to worry about with comedy is it's the hardest thing to write well. And I'm the first one to moan at EastEnders when they try and do comedy and it doesn't come across well. But there's slight improvements recently. The teams have changed a little bit recently, and there is comedy elements. But I think EastEnders has always been known as the more gritty, realistic soap, which is probably why Kate Oates suits it so well now, because she's more into that gritty side.
I love how you just piece together bits of these clips. I have no idea what's about to be said, so this is very traumatizing for me.
I mean, you were great, honestly. You were really great on the radio in both interviews. You did. You put your case across really well, because I think they really wanted a kind of defeatist answer, really, like, oh yeah, but you have to remember that it's been going for this long, but you weren't. You were very positive, and I think you were a great ambassador for the show. So
yeah, BBC.
Yeah, so I have to, on the BBC. So honestly, when I was listening to your interviews, I was proud. I was like a proud mother standing on the side of the stage. I was very impressed. Oh. The presenter of the BBC Essex was very much a Coronation Street fan as well, and so she made her point known about that quite often during the interview. So I think you were fighting a losing cause with trying to encourage her to like EastEnders.
Well, Corrie's got rubbish comedy at the moment, so she can't talk.
Well, she was saying because of the darker moments from Kate Oates, it's had to kind of perk itself back up again. And you were saying, well, Kate Oates suits EastEnders better because it's meant to be a bit.
It's my way of saying I don't like comedy in EastEnders.
Yeah, politely. You did. You said, I'm the first one to pull them up. I thought, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Last clip was you were asked by the presenter whether there's too much soap on television in general, and you give your answer. And the reason I chose this is because I love the way she does the one show line, I believe, in this clip, and it just cracks me up every time I hear it. So here it is, the last clip of Ben's interview on BBC Essex.
After the one show, it's doof, doof, doof time, and I'm sort of going, oh, right, okay. So how many times is it on, Ben, and is it on too often?
It's on 4 times a week, which is the least amount of any of the soaps. Soaps, I think, are on 6 or 7 times now, which is far too much. I mean, I think 4 is plenty. I think once you start increasing episodes, you're just stretching out plots which don't need to be stretched out.
That's it. So there were only a few clips from the whole interview, and I will post the full interviews, both interviews, on a video on YouTube.
And we'll put them in the show links as well. So you can click on them from this podcast.
Yeah, so you can listen to the full interview. So you can hear the full...
If you want.
No, I would. I genuinely would. And I would be interested to know if you, as Ben quoted, to quote Ben, sorry, hardcore EastEnders fans who listen to our podcast, if you agree with what Ben said, perhaps you think that they have a long way to go and there's still a stretch for them to go before they can get the ratings. Though. Some people say, we've had this discussion on Twitter before. People have said, actually, I prefer them to have a few more episodes. So it's a tough one. I'm in agreement with you. I think 4 is enough. In fact, I'd happily let them reduce it down to 3.
No.
I know. But let us know if, after hearing these clips or after hearing the full interview on YouTube, just look for EastEnders Weekly Podcast on YouTube, whether you agree with Ben and his points of view. You can either comment on the YouTube video itself, or you can tweet us at EastEnders Week. You can go on our Instagram at EastEnders Weekly Podcast, or you can email us eastendersweekly@gmail.com. And of course, you can go to our Facebook group, which has exclusive polls and comments and opinions by looking at EastEnders Weekly Podcast and then clicking to join the group. So everyone join in with me to congratulate Ben for his media turn. He's not been asked to do Celebrity Big Brother just yet, but
no, I did get another phone call though. So there, I've had now a 3rd phone call, but that's secret. And also now I'm a Z list. I've got a rider, so I have to put lots of things on.
What's on your rider? I'm curious.
Wine gums, but only the red and black ones.
Not Skittles.
Yeah, but only the red and black ones.
Fair enough. Great. So that was a special edition of the Walford Gazette.
Right, now let's serve up the main dish. Got anything to say?
I was going to sing Lady Gaga, but I'm not going to now.
What, like Ben Mitchell from years ago?
Yeah. Oh no, that was Love Game, wasn't it? He danced to when he had the
Lady
bin.
Gaga.
Yeah, he had the bin lid on his front, and that was he dancing with Louise, young Louise.
Was he?
Yeah, in front of Shirley and Phil, and Phil was like really agitated and like, "Oh, this isn't going well. My son can't be liking this."
No, he's a bit more accepting nowadays. But
he's best. Well, he did stand up for his son in front of Jonno.
Horrible
week.
Jonno.
Oh, yeah, we met Jonno.
Talk about Jonno quickly.
Definitely. I'd love to talk lots about Jonno.
Go.
Okay, Jonno, the casting was outstanding. It was like watching an older version of Stuart, and it made it even more better, which is really bad grammar, because later, Stuart, you could see Stuart was his father. And so the apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree, even though Stuart thinks he
tries.
has. Yeah,
tries not to be like him. But amazing casting. Like the
Brilliant
mannerisms
casting.
between Stuart and Callum was in the dad.
Yeah.
We learnt loads about their history, which is what we wanted. Like last year, we said we need his dad here to help us get into these characters a bit more.
Yeah,
and it was exactly what we said. That he used to intimidate Callum, which is why Callum's like the shy, beaten down one.
Because he was intimidating him this week as well in front of Whitney as well, which was basically knocking him down a few notches too, which upset him.
And we know that Stuart used to stand in way of Callum, so he'd take the beating instead of his little brother, which is why he's got this sort of harder, more mental states than
thicker skin
what Callum has, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a horrible character. I mean, one way where we're thinking, how can they redeem Stuart? They just bring in someone who's even more horrible than Stuart.
Yeah.
To sort of explain why Stuart's like that, but Stuart still hasn't got that full redemption because of the way it ended this week.
Yeah,
so it's interesting.
You're absolutely right. He was so, after seeing Jonno this week, he was so redeemable, and then you realised that actually Stuart is Jonno 2.0.
Or maybe we've been thinking about it wrong. Maybe we're not meant to be on this redeeming arc of Stuart. Maybe they're just doing a villain, but like a layered villain.
Yeah, which is perfect.
Which is suits Stuart to the ground.
Absolutely. I'm surprised that we've not really, because we were so, it just seemed like they were going the path of everyone's going to start forgiving Stuart. One by one they are. Tina even sees a forgiving side of him now. But no, it's obviously to build him back up, to knock him slowly back down again. Yeah, it's brilliant. I loved Jonno. But do you know what I loved more than Jonno? Whitney's camo shop.
I didn't see it.
Well, no, nor did I. I just heard a lot about it around the square. She was opening it on Monday morning. But it's so good that I can barely see it.
It's sold out.
I just
couldn't see any of it.
No, Absolutely. I mean, I half expected to see like loads of people like walking around the square with like this new fashion range by Whitney.
She made the gay as t-shirts though,
which are outstanding.
So to be fair on Whitney, she's got good designs. She's got loads of different designs of them on the same t-shirt.
People are missing a trick not getting those t-shirts out before the end of the week. I mean, you had plenty of time. You saw the original design weeks ago.
We should have done it.
Well, I know. I wish I put it on our store, our EastEnders Weekly store. By the way, you can find it on spreadshirt.co.uk. It got original designs, Ben.
Don't pay tax on that.
The Queen Vic.
Don't buy any.
No, do buy more. We need the money.
I need the money. That's why I'm going to do a t-shirt that says I need the money.
What? Do the gay as one first with
I'll
the
do
happy
both.
rainbow above it.
But I keep feeling sorry for Whitney because Whitney's such a nice character, and I have so much for Whitney. And I've always said that she's a great actress and everything. And she's like the happiest she's ever been.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm here cheering her boyfriend on cheating on her. So I have to keep remembering to feel sorry for Whitney as well.
You're right. It's really difficult to not be really excited about Ballum without in the back of your mind thinking this is
Wallum.
Gonna... Yeah, exactly. Without Wallum popping into your head. I mean, poor Whitney.
I know, but it's so unfair.
I love.
But
Wallum.
at the same time,
sorry, that's a great Wallum.
Just came out of my mouth.
That's what Ben said.
But yeah, I do feel for Whitney, bless her. So I don't know what they're going to do with her once this all comes out.
This is going to tear her apart.
I mean, maybe they'll listen to what we said a few months ago, and I said she might surprise us and be kind of accepting with Callum and be his fag hag.
Yeah, maybe.
That's like the best situation in my head.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a case of her accepting it. It's because really she's got herself into this relationship. A relationship, if you think about it, that Callum started. Callum was the one who chased her. So
I know, but she's quite I don't know. I don't want it to be all horrible.
I mean,
but it's going to be.
Yeah,
but...
I'm accepting of I know lots of cultures and people's opinions and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, if someone hurts me over that opinion, then I think my acceptance may
but Whitney might
tone
see
down a little bit
how hurt Callum is, and because she loves him, she says it's okay, Callum. And that's what I want. Will I get it?
No. No, you won't at all.
That was meant to be a rhetorical question.
Oh, sorry.
I don't want the answer.
Yeah, but if you don't want the answer, then you know what the answer is. And that is basically, it's going to be
Callum.
awful. You're trapped between Wallum and Ballum.
So his dad was getting signs off of Ben, in the Vic, he thought he was eyeing him up and eyeing Callum up. So he was getting a bit worried. He was very homophobic. Follows him into the toilet. We actually heard Ben weeing, which is new.
Was that the highlight of your week, was it?
Well, the highlight.
Hearing urinating.
I was surprised.
You were surprised by the sound of urine.
Well, we've just heard Ben Mitchell go for a wee. So that's odd.
I feel like I should download a sound. Just play it to you on a loop. It might help you go to sleep. You can put it on your Amazon speaker. But, see it.
No, I didn't like it. I'm just saying it was weird. Just saying I noticed. They could have cut into the scene earlier.
Well, just
they wanted that awkward moment.
He was shaking it. Well, yeah, no, that's right. They wanted Jonno to kind of walk in on him when he's a bit vulnerable. He's having a wee.
Oh, he was going for it.
Can't stop midstream. Christ, that would hurt.
But no, he stood his ground, Ben, and he sorted Jonno out. He's about to bottle him. I mean, it's quite serious.
Yeah,
he didn't really think about that, did he, Jonno, I think?
I mean, it, in a weird way, kind of shows that Jonno does... Well, does he? Does he care for Callum, or does he care about the name that Callum holds? So basically, if his son's gay, then it kind of, by relation, it makes Jonno look bad. And so that's why he was stopping it. Or was it because he genuinely cared for Callum? The same you could argue...
I don't think it was about Callum. I think it was just the fact that he doesn't like gay people. I don't know.
What do you think then about Stuart, the way he dealt with it at the end of the week? Do you think that was about for Callum or Wallum? Or do you think that was, again, because Stuart didn't like the idea of Callum being gay?
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? Because they had that chat in Walford East because he saw Ben and Callum kiss on the cheek and hold hands.
I mean, that scene...
I know.
It sucked me in. I mean, obviously, when we're watching the show, we write notes as we're going along. For 5 minutes, I just put the pencil down and just stared at the screen. It was such a touching moment.
It was sweet. The little hold hand bit was like the... Oh.
Yeah.
As Stacey would say.
But did you notice
also...
Sorry, did you notice also that Stuart held Callum's hand on Friday's episode? So again, showing, I'm supporting you.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I thought there was a link there.
Yeah, I mean, I think in Stuart's messed up head, I mean, he's obviously going to be messed up with a dad like that. I think in his head he was thinking, because he asked Callum, have you ever done anything with a guy before in the army, or is it just Ben? He said, no, only Ben Mitchell. And I think in Callum's head, in Stuart's head, he was like, "Oh, so this Ben's done this."
So Ben's turned you, kind of turned your mind.
I think in his weird head, and I think in a Stuart does things and he thinks he's helping. I think.
Yeah, but is he helping himself or is he helping?
I don't think
Callum?
he really knows. I think he's doing it for his little brother because the way he stands in front of his dad and protected him from his dad. So he is protecting of Callum, but I just think he's got it a bit twisted in the way he's been brought up by his dad. So that was his sort of instinct reaction to deal with it, was to beat Ben up, I guess.
But he asks Callum, do you love Whitney? Do you want to be with Whitney? And Callum genuinely says, yes, I do. Whitney. I love Whitney. I want to marry her. And so, I mean, if Callum had answered, no, this is all a sham, I'm gay, I want to be with Ben.
Yeah, I wonder what he would have reacted.
What would then Stuart's reaction be? Would it have been the same? Or would he have then tried to be more encouraging toward Callum? Because really, Stuart said to Callum, well, that's the road you've got to take. Now you've said you love Whitney, now you've said that you want to be and marry her, then that's what you've got to do. You've got to put blinkers on and just take that path now and marry Whitney. Forget about Ben, and I'm going to help you by pulverizing him in by
texting
the
him
archers.
On your phone. But he didn't know his phone was taken, so I don't think Callum knew what Stuart was doing. But you kind of think he did.
Well, I don't know, because he was getting very upset when they were singing Pride, a beautiful song by Heather Small, sung by a drag queen, which was fantastic. Callum seemed to indicate that he understood
knew what's about to happen.
What was happening, between Ben. And this is when Stuart started beating Ben. But Ben was smiling the whole time.
He gets off on it, doesn't he? We've talked about that, how he seems to get
that's
off
true.
On it.
Yes, he does.
He liked it when Callum pushed him up against the wall, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the Ice Got Quiz.
And he liked the hitman guy in the alleyway.
Oh, yeah, he was really getting off on talking about killing Billy. Give him an egg. But also, Ben didn't fight back against Stuart. He had also an opportunity earlier in the week to basically really hurt Jonno. And he said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because of Callum. So he obviously has these feelings toward Callum.
Oh, yeah.
So he's not fighting back against Stuart for that reason. Because I think he could have put on a fight anyway. Look at Mick. Mick put on a good fight against Stuart outside the police station. No one seemed to mind.
No, exactly. But you just need to try and work out if Callum knew, maybe because he was obviously getting upset. Was he getting upset because he was at Pride and he saw all these people?
Yeah, openly
being
accepting
themselves, and he wasn't able to. Was he crying because of Whitney was next to him and he felt guilty for that? Was he upset because he knew that Stuart was on his way to Ben and he wasn't going to stop? You don't know, do you?
That's it. And
his face when he was tearing up.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
I know.
Little Callum.
I know. Whitney was having a whale of a time.
No,
she came back drunk, didn't she? She went uptown with her mates.
Yeah.
I mean, Kathy also has spotted something as well, because when there was a bit of the altercation in.
Oh, I love Kathy.
Yeah, in the Prince Albert, and Stuart, Callum, and Ben were having a bit of a tussle, and Kathy was like, "Oh, you get out," and I think she's now in on it too. So I think
she was old mother hen, wasn't she?
She was
right
mother hen,
but Stuart.
But I think she's realised that Ben has upset Stuart somehow. And by the way Ben talks about the way he lays and beds men, like this week as well, he kind of indicated it that, he was only there for the tail, the totty. I think Kathy's put two and two together and worked out with her little cat ears, her rainbow cat ears.
Yeah, I love it when she stood up to Stuart. It was go on, Kath.
But do you think that this is what I mean? Do you think Kathy, now she's involved, is she going to be entailed in this story?
Hope so.
Has she been
more Kathy?
I mean, absolutely.
She'd be in all the storylines.
We love a bit of Rainbow Cafe. I just want to make a point that some people were complaining that perhaps EastEnders was a bit camp this week. You can never have enough rainbows. You can never have enough camp on EastEnders.
No.
Bring it on. Give us more.
We did miss Sharon at
Sharon
Pride.
should have been there.
How did that happen? And Kat wasn't even at Pride, and she's camp too.
Mo was there.
Yeah.
Although she was trying to sell off
She was wearing Pat's old coat, pink coat.
Oh, was she? She
looked like Pat.
Because she was wearing her old earrings as well. Pat would have been good at Pride as well, wouldn't she?
No.
Oh, Pat! All these characters that should have come back for Pride. I mean,
Pat is dead, so she can't. But
she could have come out as a ghost.
That's true. On a float. A drag queen should have dressed up as Pat in the background. That'd be funny.
That would have been a lovely little nod. Yeah, that would have been fantastic. I mean, it's a shame that a few gay characters from the past didn't pop in. It would have been nice just to pop them in. Barry.
No.
Yeah, Barry off the cruise ships. It'd be nice to see him.
No.
Dot should have been there.
No, Dot's in Ireland.
Yeah, but
filming a spin-off, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, did you want to talk about the Pride event? And now we're on it. So
Yeah, why
like the
not?
Bernie, Tiff, the Taylors,
Yeah.
all accepting.
Yeah, it was really lovely, really lovely. I mean, it was a great scenes where Bernie's finally accepting her sexuality. She's not hiding anymore. She's not texting people or messaging people through dating apps. She wants to be out loud and proud.
And she got like her advice from Tina as well, which was really good. It was like her drag mum in a way. Like she was like telling her like, create your own family and you'll do this and you can do that. And it was like, it was really nice to see Tina more in that like motherly elder role, like for a younger person. It was really good for Tina, I think.
Yeah. Tina said, you enjoy being with your people. These are your family and these are the ones you choose to be with. Yeah. I mean, I did feel for Bernie this week because Tiff's misguided plan to
I know.
have someone be interested in her on a dating app. And Bernie said a really sweet line when she said to Keegan, she keeps making me fall in love with her. And so Bernie had kind of moved on, and obviously Tiff was the one who hadn't. Tiff was still the one kind of holding on.
Kind of brought it up again in a weird way. 'Cause, like, she couldn't have thought what she was doing was going to help, surely. Like, pretending to be someone online and talk to her.
I mean, last week I thought that the reason she was doing it is so she could get Bernie out of the way, so that she was able to start dating Keegan.
Yeah.
But it went a bit further than that, and I think perhaps it was that maybe Tiff did want to keep Bernie near enough at arm's length that she was able to just bring her in if she needs her.
That's what I thought, because at the end when she saw her, like, Bernie was being embraced by everyone at Pride, and like Tiff was sort of on the outskirts looking in, and she thought, and you kind of got the impression of her face like, oh, she's found her people now and I still haven't, the sort of thing.
I agree.
That's how I took it. I didn't take it that, because some people thought maybe Tiff's questioning if she is bisexual or whatever. I didn't get that at all.
No.
That's how I saw it. I saw it as like, she's kept Bernie on a string this whole time, because she had that storyline ages ago where she said she's popular online but she hasn't got any real friends, or she doesn't know where she belongs. And then she had the gang storyline where she was trying to fit into this lifestyle which really wasn't her.
Yeah.
And then again, now this has happened. She was on the outskirts again.
Yeah, and Bernie's found her people. So again, there's a jealousy there. So perhaps
Tiff feels like, oh, I'm alone again.
Yeah, and Tiff was deliberately kind of keeping Bernie just far away from, Pride and being with a gay, having a gay family, having Tina as a friend.
But still being supportive, but not letting her completely go.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting.
It's a shame, because I think her and Keegan would be a great match, and it would then break the ties and allow them to all move on. I think using the excuse of, oh, Bernie and Keegan are family, so it's going to be really awkward and uncomfortable, you can't use that anymore because Bernie has now found her place. I think there needs to be more scenes also with Bernie and Tina too, because I want more to happen with them together.
She could take on like a motherly role for her. I mean, I know Karen's supportive and everything, but it would be nice for Tina to get something.
I tell you who else was a surprise supporter of the gays.
Who?
Mr.
Not
Murray.
Mitch.
No, Mitch would. Mitch.
God.
Every week there's something else I hate him more.
A little bit more.
It was like he's the typical kind of homophobic guy who thinks that, oh, they must fancy me, so I need to keep far away from them. It's like, no, mate, don't. No one fancies you, Mitch.
And Keegan said, oh, he like made a joke about something, and he was like, you better not. You're not serious, are you?
Yeah.
So shut up, Mick.
I know.
Mitch. Not Mick. Mitch.
Mick's all right. Yeah. Well, Mick's he's almost as gay as everyone else, because Gray and Mick.
I'm there for those two.
I know.
Very nice.
Because Gray was asked out by the blogger, wasn't he? He was writing a piece about the gay pride, and just to let him down gently, he said, I think my partner might be a bit upset, and goes to hold Mick's hand.
Yeah.
Mick embraced it immediately.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? Bit of Gray on your arm?
Well, a bit of Mick on your arm.
Nah.
I think a lot of people would like a bit of Mick.
Well, Gray's the new top talent now, because
he's the top, is he?
Yes. Him and Keanu were going off against each other, so they could pull the most men.
Yeah, it was nice to see Keanu joining in as well.
Yeah, he's not really with the Taylors much, is he?
Well, after we had a few moments where around Ben he was being a bit weird and a bit not homophobic, it's a bit unkind, but a bit like, oh, you're touching me, oh, don't you touch me. Keanu got right into it with his vest on, his rainbow tattoo on his arm. He's just dancing away. Yeah.
Him and Grace seeing how many cocktail sticks they could get for free each, adding them up at the end.
Yep. Barter them like.
My vote goes to
Pokemon
Gray,
cards.
though, I'm afraid. Sorry, Keanu.
Oh yeah, Gray was hot in the square for the rainbow.
Sharon can keep you.
It's such a shame that, again, I don't want to go on, but it's such a shame Sharon wasn't there.
I know. It just really Sharon Mitchell not at Pride.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
Can we quickly talk about Bobby? Because Bobby was in the soap a couple of times this week.
He was.
There was a couple of telling things, especially continuing with the theory that he is going to be
radicalised.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the week, he gets talking to Tiff, and Tiff invites him to the cafe, and they have a milkshake, and he seems to be quite keen on Tiff quite quickly.
They used to have like a little friendship way back when they were young, so I think that was why they used to be like friends.
But I think because she's the first one to show him any kind, she's stuck to her straight away, and so that is almost a telling for when he was in prison, someone showed him a bit of kind,
and he stuck to them,
and so he stuck to them. Hence, where this radicalisation could happen.
Yeah, because someone sent us a message because last week when they're having a Chinese takeaway. Someone noticed he wouldn't eat pork.
Yes.
Pork balls.
When
Ben was stuffing the balls in his mouth.
Ben was stuffing those battered balls in his gob.
But someone raised that point to us, which we missed, which I'm shocked. Might as well quit.
But yeah. Do you guys want to do the show? Because we're rubbish at this.
We were too obsessed with Ben's pork balls and not Bobby's.
We certainly were. But Bobby also showed a dislike toward the gay pride. Yeah. He said he Kathy didn't seem that upset.
Kathy was like, I agree.
yeah. I'm doing it for the pink pound. I'm only doing it for the money. But Ben was quite taken aback by that. Yeah, he said he wouldn't go near that place. They was like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, and Kathy was like, don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry.
For God's sake, Kathy.
I know, Kathy's just missing
Open your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, this whole Bobby story, I mean, I think that, I hope that Tiff doesn't get tangled up in it, and so she becomes, because we've seen that she gets quite manipulated quickly as well.
That's true.
Is she going to go to one of the meetings that perhaps he goes to? This is theorising that this is the story where it's heading.
It is.
And then she's going to become entrapped in it too. What would Sonia say? That's what I'm going to say.
It's very Hollyoaks. Speaking of Hollyoaks again, welcome to Hollyoaks Weekly.
Yeah.
It's a bit of the same sort of thing with Steve.
Oh yeah,
Steve. He's getting radicalised.
He's being radicalised by a hate group though, isn't he? Yeah.
So similar-ish.
They're stealing the stories from Hollyoaks. Now we know.
Who can blame them?
Soon we're going to have some mad woman getting knocked down by a car and left in the street for a week.
Oh yeah, Roxy. She's the Hollyoaks version of Roxy. I think we're going to do a Guess Who game where we talk about characters of the same people in Hollyoaks compared to EastEnders.
You did sit down, didn't we?
Because there is a lot.
Yeah, and we basically tried to work out who from Hollyoaks was a character from EastEnders.
There's a Martin.
There's a Martin, yeah.
There's a Stacey.
Who's, yeah.
There's a Cat, which is Mercedes.
Yeah, Mercedes. There's a Kush, who's Mercedes' boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Or husband.
Glughead, yeah.
Yeah, Glughead. Yeah. If you have any theories of Hollyoaks characters that are like ones of EastEnders, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. We really would.
The one who got knocked over by the car is in a wheelchair. She's basically Roxy.
Yeah.
If Roxy's still alive.
She's got crazy face though, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She's like a constant crazy face. My favourite bit was when she got the gun out of the bear. She was going to shoot the guy who she thought had knocked her down. That's Hollyoaks, by the way, not EastEnders. You haven't missed anything. Let's move on. Should we play a game?
Oh, well, that was a game. Yeah, let's play another game. Right, we are here to play a classic game of ours, which is Slater Family Values. It's been a while.
It has been. It has been a long time, actually, since we visited the Slater house and tried to find a gratuitous link from one person to the next.
The last one was Kathy Beale to Bernadette. That was the last time.
Did I win that one? I forget.
No. Don't know.
You're just saying no because you know I'm so bad at the game.
Down. But anyone who doesn't know what this game is, basically it's 6 degrees of separation. So I'm going to name 2 characters to Alex. He doesn't know who those characters are yet. And you have to make a link from one character to the next within 6 steps using relationships, storylines, things that go on in the square where they work, etc.
Yes, they have to have a strong link, though. I can't just say they have the same eye colour.
No, they don't live in Walford.
Yeah, exactly. Or else they'll be too easy again.
And you will now have the chance of earning a bonus point.
What?
If you can also include a third character, which I tell you, within the mix.
Oh, you're making a game.
You don't have to.
Oh, no, I do, because you've given me the challenge. So now the challenge has been presented.
There's also an added bonus for people at home to write in and add this person in, I thought. So, because people like to play this game.
Also, it makes it a bit easier for you, because then perhaps my path would be the same as yours. So it saves you having to...
In my path, I don't add the bonus person.
Oh,
so it's all up
why do
to
I
you.
have to add it then? This doesn't seem
you're
fair.
Playing.
Yeah.
So...
Wait, no, hang on. I'm not taking this. Why can't I... I feel like I don't want to join in with your bonus point now.
Well, fine, the bonus point is just for the listeners.
No, I want the bonus point.
Right, so you ready?
Yeah, go on.
I want you to link Callum Highway
Oh, Callum.
to Bailey Baker.
Right.
And a bonus point is if you can include Mel Owen into the mix.
All roads lead to Mel. I'm sure I can.
Yeah, right. Mrs. No Friends. Right, so you ready? You got 60 seconds.
Oh, I'm not feeling confident about this. I'm looking at them now on the piece of paper. I feel a bit nervous. Okay.
Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, so Callum is linked to Mick.
How? You have to say how.
They are related somehow. No, they're not. No, because... Okay, no, start again. Callum is the brother of Stuart. Stuart
Right.
Highway.
Mm-hmm.
Stuart is related or linked to Mick because
Say how.
they're friends.
Okay.
They were friends way back.
Mm-hmm.
Mick is the brother of... No, I don't want to do that.
Mick hasn't got a brother.
Sister, sorry. He's the brother of Tina, I was going to say. But how long have I got left?
You got 20 seconds.
Oh, I'm going to get Melon. Oh, okay, I'm going
skip the bonus point.
I don't want to. Okay, well, Tina then. Tina. So Tina's, whatever.
Yep.
Tina has... Oh, no, now that's stuck me in a hole.
You got 4 seconds.
Oh,
To finish this.
Mick and Linda. Linda and...
No, time up.
Oh, I've got it now. I've got it. Linda and Karen are friends because they both have children which are autistic in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And then Karen is the carer for Bailey Baker.
Right, well, I think you're missing one step in that lot anyway, aren't you?
I don't
Do you want to
know.
hear what I've got written down?
Yeah, go on.
Right, we've got Callum.
Yeah.
Also known as Halfway. Shot Mick.
Oh, so you're doing it that way? Okay.
Mick is married to Linda.
Yeah.
Linda has made friends with Karen.
Thank
Very
you.
similar. Karen's son is Keegan. Keegan's dad is Mitch. Mitch is also Bailey's dad.
Okay. So more
I didn't
heavily
get
on
Mel. Yeah.
More heavily.
So if you
on-
get Mel in there, guys, you get the bonus point.
Well, okay. So if you guys can find the 6 degrees of separation between Callum Highway and Bailey Baker, and somewhere you can put Mel
Slot in
Owen.
a
Mel No Mates is
Yeah.
Slot Mel in somehow. I'm racking my brain. I can't think how that could be linked. The only way I can think is through Jack. But I don't know how Jack could be.
Or Hunter. Is there
No,
one
I
on
think
the
I've
line?
got it. I'm going to do it off air just because I
Ooh.
want people to
Write in.
Yeah. So let us know on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and our email, which is eastendersweekly@gmail.com. All the rest of them just search EastEnders Weekly and you'll find us pop up.
Yes. And that was Slater Family Values. Right, so just when we were praising Louise, when her character got a bit better.
Yeah, she became more adult. She's reverted back to her childlike state.
Pregnant bitch.
Wow.
What's the word? What's like a bridezilla but a pregnant zilla? That's what she is.
Pregzilla.
Yeah. Although she is engaged now.
Oh yeah, so
Bride
yeah, but they're
engaged
not.
zilla.
She's not planning any. She hasn't done any wedding planning.
She's been shopping.
She's done a lot of shopping, but
I hated Louise. It's so stupid. She was like getting upset with Keanu because he didn't want to do like illegal work, and she got upset.
yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, she wanted him to be more like her dad. It's like, well, marry your dad
I
then.
know. I thought she hated her dad originally.
Yeah. Well, she hates her dad, but she doesn't hate the money, does she?
Bit like Sharon.
No, Sharon's not money orientated.
What?
No, I refuse to let you say that.
Sharon in 1989. Let's just talk about that quickly with her
Yeah.
credit cards.
Oh, yeah, but that's because she was grieving because her dad had just been shot supposedly
So she bought
into the
Wixie a
canal.
polo shirt.
Yeah, because she wanted Wixie to love her, and she just lost Michelle as well. Why did we go off tangent to like something completely different to what we're talking about? We just finished
No, we were
Hollyoaks.
talking about Sharon.
Oh, it's
and her
Sharon's
spending.
past.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as time progressed, because remember about a year or so ago, Sharon did say like she had her own money that she had earned. Don't screw your face.
Also, she's also said last year, I want a cleaner. I've always wanted one of my own.
Oh yeah, that was funny. And then
She
got
got
really
it for
angry
a
at
day.
Jane. Get out, Jane! No!
So yeah, Louise is kind of the same. She's just become really horrible. And she basically said to Keanu, well, if you're not going to have much money, you can move out then.
Yeah, I know.
For God's sake.
So materialistic, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So basically, all she cares about is her child having beautiful things. She's obviously going to be one of those mums that just takes constant pictures on Instagram
Yeah.
of her. Like, I've just bought this from M&S. Wears it once and then never wears it again, and then complains that she's not got enough money to like
Awful mother.
I mean, not all mums who post pictures of their kids on
No.
Instagram are bad.
I meant Louise is an awful. Will be.
Yeah, Louise will be a terrible mum.
He needs to get back to Sharon, doesn't it? That basically tells Keanu how good Sharon is.
Well, no, because Keanu's proper besotted by Louise. So it killed him that Louise thought he was a lesser man just because he wouldn't take any illegal jobs from her dad.
Yeah, because he's not very good at them, is he?
Well, no, he was awful. he had to drive a car. He had a bit of a semi when he got into the car and started driving around like with the top down
and the music playing.
Yeah, like really bad
for a
music
cruise.
playing. Yeah, he was having a whale of a time, and he was driving around the streets of London. I do believe it was the same spot where Ray got stopped by
I
the
think
police.
it was. Yeah, it looked like the same place.
It looks like the exact same spot, so they like that spot to film. So if you live around that area, get your camera phones out.
You
Let
might
us
see
know.
Keanu running off in his little tight jeans.
He did. It was like the Running Man. It was so funny. So the police officer pulls him over. Just ask him a simple question. You know, why?
What's your name?
What's your name? Yeah.
Run.
Yeah, exactly. And so the police officer's like, I'm just going to check in. Okay. Goes back to his... So the police officer was quite reasonable. And Keanu's just like...
Runs away.
Well, no, first of all, his finger hovered over the start acceleration button.
Do I drive off?
Do I drive away? No, it'd be easy to run. And then just run. It made no sense.
Well, he has had quite a traumatising month. He got locked in the container with Louise.
Yes.
Every time I say locked in the container, it makes me laugh. Because it's just ridiculous. And then he got kidnapped by Sharon and Karen on that thing.
Which still hasn't been explained how or...
I don't think it will. It was all a dream.
No.
Sharon woke up in the shower saying, no, that's a silly idea. I won't do that.
Because it led to
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. It was just mad.
Yeah. Madness. And then he also then has this thing with the police. So he's a bit on edge, I guess, maybe.
But was he given any reason by Phil to say that perhaps the car he was driving was illegal? He was just asked to drive a car. He wasn't told that the car was stolen.
Some people have speculated that Ben dobbed him in to the police, and that's why the police were there ready.
I mean, Ben was really...
Because he was upset, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, he's been really upset because Phil seems to be giving Keanu a lot of the time of day, while Ben's not. Keanu's allowed to... This is so ridiculous as well. Keanu was allowed to sit next to Phil, while Ben had to sit one chair down. And
yeah, but who's he then sat next to? Sharon?
Well, no, this is when they were sat around the table discussing
just them three.
getting a car. Yeah. So it's, he feels like it's the Jay effect, isn't it? When Phil favoured Jay over Ben. And again, Ben kind of links it to his sexuality. I mean, Phil defended Ben this week by standing up to Jonno.
That was surprising.
At the bar, yeah.
Never done that before.
And this happened, but did this happen after? I think it did. It happened Tuesday, didn't it? So this happened after Phil had, shown favour toward Keanu. But Ben seemed he smirked as well when Keanu said, I don't want to do any more jobs for you anymore, Phil. I don't need the dirty cash. I'm just going to work at your garage, do 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, have myself a bacon butty every now and then, spit it down my top.
And get my girlfriend upset.
Yeah. I mean, most people live a life like that. So why can't Louise kind of work it out in her head?
Well, Louise get a job.
Yeah, she'd get a part-time job. She'd get a part-time job down at Mothercare. She can talk about babies and... all kinds of stuff.
So yeah, Louise annoyed me this week.
Well, she just reverted back to being
crap.
Louise, isn't she? I was just going to say that it was Sharon who told Louise to screw her head on and sort herself out. So again, Sharon comes to the rescue to get Louise and Keanu back together.
Yeah, she's always thinking of Keanu, isn't she?
Well, I know, and it kind of makes me think, is Keanu truly dead in the water?
No, I still don't believe Louise and Keanu, like when they're together. I have no time for them as a couple.
Anyway.
Maybe Bex needs to give Louise some tips, some advice, not being horrible.
She's kind of a bit
She's
quiet,
normally good at that, isn't she?
But Bex, she is good at dishing out advice to others, but she's not too good at taking it.
She'll be off to Oxford soon and leave Louise all on her own. It's like Ackley Bridge. Welcome to Ackley Bridge Weekly.
Yeah, so Louise gets knocked down by a car and then thinks she's still alive, but actually it's all a dream. Do you know, a lot of people who don't watch these programs we're talking about would not get any of these references we're talking about.
That is a big spoiler, actually, for Series 3. So.
Oh, it's been aired. Once it's been aired, it's not a spoiler, and they've had a good week to watch it. I'm sorry if anyone hasn't watched it yet.
Right, the last storyline, and the worst storyline, is Jay and Lola.
Yay!
Because Lola's still threatening to leave on a bus or whatever she's doing. So.
Yeah, National Express bus. Or a EastEnders branded version of.
And every time we see Lola, Ben just convinces her to stay for like one more day. She's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she seems to be that magical ticket. It's a bit like the ticket to Australia, wasn't it? That
Ted had. Joyce had buried.
Yeah. It seems to in EastEnders world that you can just basically book a ticket and you can go anytime you want.
Oh no, Ben did say to her, "What, you're going to waste the money?" And she says, "Well, if I'm going to miss it anyway, doesn't matter." Because she heard that Jay and Ruby had broken up. So
yeah, and then Jay kind of helped her pack her stuff, and Lexi was there, and Jay was like, oh, this is fun. This is a nice little family already made for me. But we did learn a little bit that Ben, we kind of thought it was maybe Ben being generous and kind toward Lola and Jay, but it's not at all. He just wants to keep Lexi here. So it's all about having Lexi.
Now, let's get into theory here.
Go on.
You know I'm pro Lola dying. I'm just going to continue with this theory and now build on it. So her and Jay get together.
Yep.
It's going to happen, unfortunately. So then he sees Lexi as his kid or adopts her, whatever.
Oh, Jay does.
Yeah. Lola then gets killed by Adam, let's say.
Adam's the serial killer.
Yeah, he can kill. Yeah,
okay.
He can kill Iqra. I don't want him to kill Iqra, but maybe Iqra or Iqra and Habiba's dad.
Wouldn't you like Lola to have a bit of a gruesome death?
Yeah, with Adam. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gosh.
So Adam kills Lola.
Yeah, right. Good.
Then we then have Ben wanting Lexi with Callum, and then Jay seeing Lexi as his daughter. Bit of a rivalry between Jay and Ben.
Oh, what? Storyline splits them apart.
Yeah.
Because Jay and Ben are. I mean, there has been a few tensions between them since Ben.
And him and Callum are stable now by this point in a relationship.
Oh, so this is way ahead because the wedding
about next year.
Yeah, okay.
Don't load around that long. Her year contract, so about 9 months' time. That's my theory.
You're counting the days, aren't you, for her contract to run out?
Well, she is useless and pointless, and
I mean, she has really just come in with a whimper, hasn't she? She's just come in, and her story has just been around Ben, and she just kind of pops in every now and then.
We asked last week people to give comments on why they like Lola. We didn't have any. We had one comment. I can't remember who it was from. Sorry. And they would just said, I like Lola. But they didn't say why.
Okay.
So therefore, there is no reason.
I mean, the reason is that they like Lola.
No, it's not a good enough reason. I like Callum because of his little face, his watery eyes that he does. That's the reason.
You used to like Callum for his hat.
No, I hated his hat, but I liked the character. So no one has yet told me why they like Lola or why she has a place.
Please get in touch for anyone who would like to discuss with Ben in great detail. Please feel free to why Lola is worthy of not dying in the hands of Adam and extending her contract for a further year at the end of this original contract. I have to say that recently I've seen that a lot of Lola fans have dwindled off a little bit. And I think that's because when Lola was introduced, there wasn't a lot going on in EastEnders, so they thought, we're going to have some stories with Lola. And now Lola's been in the soap, lots of things have started happening in EastEnders, and
but not with her.
And it's not really involved her. So she's always been on the sidelines. I mean, she is slowly becoming a bit of a Robbie, where she's just kind of comes in and out.
Around, spilling spaghetti on people or whatever.
Oh, that happened a long time ago. I mean, she did upset Adam. You've just reminded me because she's obviously helping with Billy, isn't she?
I want her to button on the Habiba affair and get bumped off.
Oh my goodness! So Iqra and Lola are going to die at the hands. You don't want Iqra to die?
No, but I can see that happening. But I don't want her to.
Well, no, because they've made the mistake of killing off two sisters with Roxy and Ronnie before.
Yeah, but Habiba's not dying, just Iqra.
Oh, I see. So Habiba will stay. I mean, Iqra could get hurt. They catch just before
when people are
too
ballsy and too know everything, they end up dead. Let's go on to our fourth podcast of this week.
Yeah.
Wentworth Weekly. Wentworth Prison Weekly.
Yeah.
We saw a main character. She got all the information. She had all the things ticked off.
She
then walked down the alleyway and then got killed because she knew too much.
Throat slit.
Yeah, she was too confident. And Iqra is showing how she's so confident and not scared of Adam. So it writes it to me that she's going to be bumped off.
Oh, so when she gets all the information, the whole rounded picture, that will be the moment Adam pounces. And so as a viewer, you'll be like, oh no!
Yeah, she had all the answers.
Yeah, she was about to tell everyone.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be fun. Oh yeah, that'd be a worthy death then. At least, I mean, I don't mind a death of a character as long as there's a reason for it. So it can continue a story and make it better. Okay.
So many spin-offs this week.
I know, we should think about maybe doing a podcast where we just talk about other TV programmes.
Wentworth Weekly. That's good as well because it's Wentworth Weekly.
It's called Wentworth Prison in the UK.
No, I don't call it that.
Yeah, but
I'm multicultural.
I mean, if anyone wants us to relate a story from EastEnders with a TV programme you watch, be it Killing
Someone
Eve.
asked us to make a Wentworth podcast, actually.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but we said no.
It's a bit tricky now. They're also, they're into season 7.
Yeah, they've announced 8 and 9. So 2 years.
I mean, we could go back and do a retrospective.
Yeah, B.
Oh, I miss B. I still don't believe it. anyone who watches Wentworth, do you think B is dead?
Yes.
Or do you think that they should put her into
No.
police protection? I do think she's going to
What
come
about
back.
the freak? Is she dead?
Oh, she's dead.
Okay.
Yeah. I just think B isn't. Anyway, that's EastEnders and Wentworth and Emmerdale and Hollyoaks this week. But perhaps next week we'll talk about Stranger Things. Who knows?
But not Corrie. Well, we did talk about Corrie.
We did, and
that
Corrie.
was awful, though.
And Emmerdale.
Gail was really annoying me in the court case.
Oh, my favourite part was when they threw the lady. and it hit the stunt double, who clearly was a woman in a wig,
a really
on
bad
the back
wig.
of the head.
She had like a bob, like a blonde bob, and then it cut. What's her name, the old woman? Gail's mum?
Audrey.
It cut to Audrey, and she had like grey fuzzy hair. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
It was awful. Right, so we are going on to Who Won the Week now.
Certainly are, with your tweets and comments.
You know me, I ain't one to gossip.
It's time to find out who has won the week, as voted for by our listeners on our Twitter, Instagram and Facebook group.
In the hundreds this week as well. Decided to add that in.
Thank you. It's not necessary, but thank you. As always, before we go into seeing who won this week, we'd like to find out who'd won previous weeks, where Ben climbs that rainbow of the past and slides down the other side, and there's not a pot of gold there. No, there's a pot of videotapes, VHSs of old EastEnders episodes, and Ben's delved right into them. So, Ben, do tell us who'd won previous week.
This one was on a DVD because it was 3rd of July 2006.
Were DVDs popular then?
Yeah, because Lauren put a DVD of Stacey and Max kissing. That's not the episode.
Oh.
This is the episode where we are introduced to one beloved character and one annoying character.
Okay.
The Brannings are moving onto the square.
What, 2006?
Yep, Max Branning and Tanya appeared the week before. This week, the whole family moving in, so we get the first appearances of Abby and Lauren.
Has Jack moved in before now?
Don't know.
It's not important.
I'm not sure if Jack was... No, Jack wasn't on the episode.
Jack came a bit later. Oh, yeah, because I think there was a tension when he arrived.
Because Bradley is living with Jim.
Oh, good old Jim. I like Jim. Jim Branning.
And Tanya and Max are starting again. Max has one more chance to make things right.
But this is how they were introduced?
Yes.
Oh,
there's a new start on this new house in the square. Guess what?
He messes it up straight away.
1, Max hasn't told Tanya that his estranged dad lives on the square. That's one secret. No more secrets.
Good start, yeah.
2, he's bought her Kate, sophisticated old salon and not told her, but he's just bought her the business.
Get her out of the way, ready for your affairs. Perfect, yep.
3, sorry.
Yeah.
Bradley and Stacey knock on the door to go introduce themselves to cause trouble. He hasn't told Tanya about Bradley either.
Oh dear. And also, Stacey's there, so...
Yes, and he keeps looking at Stacey from across the market, so I think he's already had ideas.
All right, yeah.
Other storylines this week include Sonia being upset because Martin didn't tell her that Bex has a cold.
I mean, I'd be fuming if I found that information out. That'd be
and as this always happens when I watch old things of the same time of year, the same storyline is happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is with Martin. He has a girlfriend called Carly, and Bex is getting upset because Carly and Bex are like bonding, and Sonia's not getting to see Bex as much as she wants. Now this sounds very familiar to Martin, Stacey, and Kush, and Arthur, doesn't it?
I suppose so. Yeah, the custody battle.
So that rolled my eyes.
Swings and roundabouts.
And Carly let Bex play with red paint, and she put her handprint on the wall, and Pauline walks. Pauline, I don't know if she's been on holiday, but she was like so tanned.
Is she?
Like tanned. And she had bright white hair.
Did she look a bit leathery?
Yeah.
Did she?
And that was the only bit she was in. She just rolled her eyes at the handprint on the wall, and that was it.
I mean, near the end of Pauline's
was
time, she just kind of, she didn't really care, did she? She was like, oh, just put me in the scene, give me my money and go.
And we had a storyline with Ian.
Oh, good, yeah.
He's at like a Walford community event, and he's like bigged up his wife, Mrs. Beale, which in real life is Jane.
Mm-hmm. But
for some reason, he thinks Jane's like fuddy or not pretty enough or something.
Well,
so
that's going to really make Jane happy, isn't it?
So he's lied, and he's asked Dawn to come to the event because all these men want to meet Mrs. Beale.
Right.
So he's now hired Dawn to pretend to be Jane, pretend to be his wife because she's beautiful.
For goodness sake. just...
And he's just left Jane in the cafe running everything on her own, and he's left all the kids at their parents' evening and not turned up.
Does Jane know that he's going and pretending that some other woman is being
lied.
Mrs. Bill?
He rang the phone Kath with his own mobile and said, "Oh, it's a booking for a meal," and then ran off, and then that's where he was going.
Brilliant.
So, scumbag.
Yeah.
Jane looked really good as well at the time.
Jane was great. Jane was hot.
Yeah.
Jane had her husband. And
she had Grant.
And
she got a Grant.
Yeah, but when she was first introduced, obviously her husband was very sick and ill, and Ian kind of helped her, and then the relationship started, and she felt really guilty and so on.
Horrible.
Yeah, I know. Ian's he just doesn't know what he's got, does he? He just always wants, and then he always thinks, the grass is greener elsewhere.
But at least we got introduced to Abby and Lauren, and they were fighting over who got
Abby.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, let's be honest.
She had her little hamster in her thing as well.
Although the Lauren OG was pretty cool. I liked the original Lauren. She was all right.
Just Jacqueline. On Instagram.
We're sorry, Jacqueline. We apologise. Rumours still rattling around that she's coming back.
No.
Yeah. So look forward to that, kids. So we asked you 4 different stories and whether you thought which one had won the week. As I said, we polled the results from our Twitter, Instagram and Facebook group, and this happened at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, just because we've had a few people saying, I vote after that time. But 9 a.m. Vote before then. Yes, please. The 4 stories were, and let's see Ben's reactions to these, because everyone seems to enjoy them, is Walford Pride.
Oh, yeah, good.
Slater Crisis.
No.
Stuart's Ballum Shock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or Branning Secrets.
No.
Okay.
Branning Secrets.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, there were only 2 stories that people liked. So I'm just going to say straight away that Slater Crisis came 3rd and Branning Secret came 4th. So out of the top 2, Walford Pride and Stuart's Ballum Shock, which story do you think won the week?
They're both similar, but I'm assuming Ballum, because everyone loves Ballum.
And you would assume incorrectly. Ballum's Shock was 2nd with 33% of the vote, and Walford Pride won with 51%, over half the vote.
Oh, how prideful.
Stacey wasn't there.
Nah, homophobic.
We've had a few comments from people, starting off with our Facebook group. Don't forget you can join our Facebook group by just searching EastEnders Weekly Podcast and then clicking to join the group. One from Vicky on Facebook says, I love the Taylors at Pride so much. Karen's complete, immediate and ongoing acceptance of Bernie is beautiful, and she looked fabulous.
Who, Bernie or Karen?
Both. And you get the impression she'd saw anyone out who tried giving Bernie a hard time about it. I also love the moment when Bernie told Ted. I mean, forgot about that. That was really sweet as well.
Yeah.
I'm gay, Mr. Murray. And then he put on his cowboy hat. He did his best Madonna impression and went off to join in the party.
The last 3 minutes were really good when the drag queen was singing. Like from there to the credits was like amazing.
Yeah, but we forgot also that Ted might have a future choice.
Oh yeah,
he's got each side.
He was telling that was it a drag queen?
Yeah, it was a drag. Yeah. Yes, it was a drag queen. Ben, was it a drag queen? I'm not sure.
No, it could be anything. Yeah. Could be anyone. Ted didn't care. No, he was actually talking to her about Joy.
Yeah, I know.
So, that was my wife, Joy. I wanted to hear the beginning of that conversation.
He should have bought Joyce's ashes. It's a shame he laid them.
Throw them in slow motion in the night.
That'd have been nice. Yeah, as a confetti when they did the confetti gun at the end. Chris Scott, who's a friend of the show. Hello, Chris. He produces a podcast called Ask Karen, which we strongly recommend you guys listen to.
Yeah, it's funny. Karen's funny. So's Chris.
yeah.
But I like Karen's voice.
Oh, do you?
The way she talks is funny.
I like it because they're very conversational. They have a good laugh about all kinds of different topics.
Yeah, but she's funny.
Okay.
Well, her voice is... No, Chris is also funny, but I just like the way she talks.
Wow.
You have to listen to it yourself.
Hope you're listening, Chris.
Find out.
Yeah, strongly recommend you listen to it. You can find it on all good podcast streams. Chris has said, so after the underwhelming launch of the Prince Albert, they certainly pulled out all the stops for Pride. It all looked great, and I even enjoyed the mute extras. Shrimpy was an extra, wasn't he?
I know, he's going to Real Pride now. Right now, he told us.
Is he?
He said, who's coming?
Oh, if I'd known.
We're not.
Shrimpy, yeah, if I'd known. I was a little unsure they needed to offer the 2-for-1 on cocktails through such a busy day. Kathy's got a very bad business sense.
Well,
let's be honest, Kathy's not known for her business sense.
I mean, the fact that they have a pole dance to... What are they called? A pole to dance on? A pole dancing pole?
Dancer.
Pole dancing pole.
Oh, right. On the bar.
Yeah, and someone was dancing on it, and then she goes, don't you dance up there,
the bar.
It's like, Kathy, why is it there?
I know.
Bless her. She's learning, though, and she's doing well.
She is, very much with the help of Tina.
And she kept shouting for Ben to, get him off, and no one listened. And Tina just came in and, grabbed him and shove them out.
I'm
So,
glad Tina's actually showing some kind of
Tina's doing
management as
Butch
well.
Queen.
Yeah, she is. Bad. At Jamie Coleman on Twitter said Pride/Ballum was my favourite moment, but more specifically Ben's speech to Callum before the kiss and the hand holding.
Oh.
Well written, well acted, and our boys both have beautiful eyes.
I noticed that they both got the same coloured eyes.
They have really, blue, quite blue eyes, like me.
You're right.
Yeah, well,
Not as nice as Ballum's.
aren't they? Let us know. Find a picture of me and let me know. We've had loads of responses on Instagram.
Oh.
Vernon_Christina said, hated Stacey, loved the Pride.
Oh, okay, Stace. Although, yeah, I agree. Thinking of it.
You openly said you hated Stacey.
Well, I don't hate Stacey.
Oh, but I think it means the story.
Yeah,
the story. XGrace04X says, I love the Pride episode and Ballum smiley face. And just because I like to round it up. Oh, and lots of people said they loved it or they loved the episode. Just simply said that. And just to round it up with a yin and a yang, ab.b7576 said, I like nothing. So...
Oh dear.
Thanks, Abby.
What's wrong?
Yeah, Abby, let us know what you would like to have seen.
I meant what's wrong in her life.
No, I think she just didn't enjoy the episode.
Oh, but it had everything. It had comedy, good comedy, which
Yeah.
I saw on. It had drama, suspense, reveals, secrets, affairs, all sorts.
It was all there, all
Slow
under the hood.
motion. It had music playing over scenes, which is nice.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I enjoyed it too, but obviously it wasn't everyone's cup of tea.
And we obviously know that Ballum is very popular because this week we've also pre-recorded, so look out for everyone, a fan fiction section.
Oh, yes.
Which was getting very hot and bothered. But it's Ballum, well, I won't say what it is. But yeah, lots of fans of Ballum, so...
Yeah, that's going to be on a future episode as a feature. Because in the next 3 weeks, you may find that our episodes might be a little bit shorter because we've got a few things going on as well as the show, I'm afraid, guys. So... But we'll try our best to make a full show if we can.
And you've got fan fiction in there, which,
What more can you ask for?
It is explicit, so watch out.
Yeah, but if you guys have anything you'd like to contribute toward the show, find us on Twitter at EastEnders Week, on our Instagram at EastEnders Weekly Podcast, or our Facebook group. Search EastEnders Weekly Podcast and then click to join the group. We have exclusive content and opinions and conversations on our Facebook group, so it's always good fun to join in. There's lots of discussions all the time on it. You can find Ben's interviews on YouTube. Just search EastEnders Weekly or EastEnders Weekly Podcast and click on Ben's big face. That will probably be the title card.
It's not my face.
Well, it depends on the title card I make for
Oh,
you.
God.
Yeah, that should be up right now. Or if not, it should be up very soon. You can also email us at eastendersweekly@gmail.com. We haven't got time, but I just thought I'd quickly mention that there was a rumour going around that a character is being killed off in a shock death, and lots of the rumours saying that it's going to be Whitney.
No.
We were going to talk about some of the comments people have made. We may talk about it next week, but if you have anything to discuss about that, again, get in touch with us through all the social medias or our email address. There we go. Whew. There we go. That's another good episode of EastEnders. Another week of EastEnders that we've enjoyed and pulled apart.
Makes you feel proud.
Oh, you're going full circle.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.